Did you know that children can draw things that we can't see? Sometimes, their drawings are just an expression of their innocent imagination, but other times, they can reveal terrifying facts that we can't explain. Today, we're taking you on a new journey to another world, the world of children's drawings that can hide mysterious and terrifying stories behind them. In this episode, we'll review the first part of a new series in which we reveal drawings drawn by children, but they're not like any ordinary drawings. These drawings hold secrets that may shock you and make you wonder, do children see what we can't? Could these drawings be a window to another world? If you're ready to hear scary stories and see drawings that may change the way you look at the world of children, stay with us until the end. Because what you'll see today may make you think twice before ignoring any drawing drawn by a young child. Let's start the journey. Martin and his wife are parents to two children, a 6-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy. Martin posted his story on a website, saying that he and his wife recently discovered something shocking about their daughter, Jess. Jess loved to draw, so her parents bought her all the tools she needed to keep her busy and calm. She would spend hours drawing, and they even bought her a whole backpack full of drawing supplies, such as pencils, crayons, paper, and more. She had piles of drawings in her room and even in her bag, most of which were innocent and childish. But one day, Martin found a picture in Jess's room that left him feeling very confused. The picture was of an unknown woman, holding Jess's hand. Martin asked his daughter, "Who is this woman I drew?" Jess answered with an unexpected answer, "She's the woman who visits me sometimes." At first, the father wasn't too surprised, because the subject is known in the West as the imaginary friend that children imagine. But when he asked her what the woman's name was, she replied, "Her name is Lucia." This word in particular shocked the father. The father took the drawing and showed it to his wife and asked her, "Does this drawing look like your sister?" At first, the mother replied that she was not sure, but when Martin told her that Jess had said that the woman in the drawing was Lucia, the wife was stunned and shocked. It turned out that Lucia was the name of the wife's sister who had died many years ago. Lucia was a real person in the family's life, but she was unknown to Jess, because she had died before the child was born. This discovery left the family in a state of horror and wonder. How did Jess know Lucia's name? And how did she see her to draw her so accurately? Martin's sister-in-law's name was Lucia, and she had died before their children were born. The father and mother went to Jess's room and asked her, "Who exactly is this Lucia you mean?" Jess replied again that this woman visits her often, and sometimes sits down to play with her. In order to get any information from this little girl, they asked her, "What time exactly does she come to you? And what are you talking about?" The little girl replied and told them that Lucia sometimes came to her at night while she was drawing, and other times she came when she went to sleep. So Martin's wife asked her daughter to draw Lucia again, but this time in very fine detail. Martin and his wife decided to leave the door to Jess's room a little open so that they could hear if Jess was talking to someone in the room. It was only a few nights later that something very strange happened. One night, while the father and mother were sitting in the kitchen, they suddenly heard Jess talking to someone in her room. The two of them quietly went to the door of her room to hear who she was talking to. They noticed that Jess's speech was interrupted. She would talk for a while, then be silent, then talk again. But it was 100% clear that she was talking to someone in the room with her. God knows who this person was, whether he was from our world or not. But all the father and mother could understand was that she was asking questions and then answering them. While she was talking, they heard something shocking. They heard Jess say to the person she was talking to, "My parents asked me about you when they saw the picture I drew of you, and they asked me to draw you again." Then she suddenly stopped talking. The mother and father entered the room and asked her, "Were you talking to Lucia again?" The little girl nodded in agreement. They asked her, "Where is she now?" Jess began to turn and look around the room, then she looked to the corner of the room and said, "She is standing over there." Martin and his wife immediately looked to the corner of the room, but they saw nothing. However, they both confirmed that they felt an extremely uncomfortable feeling in the room. The feeling was unnaturally uncomfortable. Jess's mother said to her calmly and gently, "My dear Jess, my dear, draw us the Lucia you see now or the one standing in front of you in the corner. Draw her in all her details." Jess agreed and said, "Okay, Mama." The mother and father left the room and went to their own room. They were still feeling uneasy, and after a while they heard Jess calling for her mother. Her mother went to Jess's room, and there Jess surprised them with a new drawing. This drawing confirmed what they had been afraid of. This time the drawing had more details. Jess drew Lucia with blue eyes, a mole above her lip, and she was wearing white clothes. The shock was great when the father and mother realized that when Lucia was buried, she was wearing white clothes, had blue eyes, and had a mole above her mouth. The shock was that Jess had not been born when her mother attended Lucia's funeral. Jess had never seen what Lucia looked like before, and she did not know that she had a dead aunt. What was even more puzzling was that her mother had never put a picture of her dead aunt in the house. It was even possible that the child had seen a picture of her dead aunt. Martin and his wife were so shocked that they asked Jess not to speak to Lucia again. It wasn't because Lucia had done anything wrong, but because the matter was so frightening and incomprehensible. The couple decided to call a priest to the house to perform an exorcism and resolve the issue. According to Martin, the matter was resolved quietly, and Lucia never showed up again.